Wars are fought from all sides in all different directions. So we've had the currency war that I talked about, and there's also, of course, this military style war that could be occurring right now. Ukraine has the peninsula Crimea, which is now under occupation by Russian forces. U.S. to bolster military support to Poland and the Baltic. So this has now become a proxy war, or at least the saber rattling prior to a proxy war. This is the preparations happening. The wheels are in motion right now. So let's take a look. The Pentagon chief said that they want to show support for their allies after Russia's intervention in the Ukraine. They are expanding their military cooperation with Poland and the Baltic states. Poland called for their friends and allies to come in and basically help out. They are worried, they are concerned that a close neighbor is under attack, and that's the way that they're seeing it, at least. So they called in their friends, and not to mention they will be there. And essentially what they've done is expanded their aviation training, quote unquote training, and did air policing, as they call it. You know, these are drills, these are practice runs that they're providing right now. And of course, they're not saying, hey, we're not really doing anything. We're just training. We're just practicing. Don't worry, nothing to worry about here. But this is essentially putting more forces in that region in case this goes hot. They have somebody who can be there in minutes. I just wanted to also bring this to note here, not to directly link the two, but I just wanted to mention it. It was interesting. China ups the military spending by 12%. China is obviously an ally of Russia, something I discuss frequently, and China is able to be there when Russia needs them and vice versa. So I believe that China, should this go hot, should this become a currency war, whatever it might be, China's going to be there to back them up. That's what I'm trying to show you with this article. China is upping their military spending. They're becoming more and more like Russia in many ways like this. So they are becoming allies closer and closer despite their differences. So let's go on. NATO is a huge problem. They have a track record that is absolutely terrible. You've seen it, and I've seen it. And the one that I really like to note is NATO's success in Libya. That's what the New York Times calls it, by murdering innocent people. And I'll show you an example of that in a moment. Murdering innocent people, that is success, because the name of the game is pain. That's what they need to do. That's what they did in Afghanistan. That's what over 1 million dead Iraqis is. Success. So what they did, they got NATO to go in there. They didn't put any boots on the ground because, of course, that would be illegal. But if they performed what Obama referred to as kinetic action, that is killing via missiles, then it's totally okay and you don't have to worry about it. So NATO went in for the bombing, and I specifically remember Canada and France being the first ones to go in and use their military budget. So they had billions of dollars that are being spent on the military. They went in and they used them all up in Libya, bombing and murdering so many innocent people. It is a lie to call it a success unless you're trying to talk about the success of using Al-Qaeda as a tool, as a pawn, once again, started back in 1979. I've gone over that a million times, so I won't touch that, but that is the success they're talking about. I'm sure they're not talking about a success in freedom and liberty and that sort of thing. What about what they did? This right here is the UN Refugee Agency, concerned as sub-Saharan Africans targeted in Libya. So they were saying they were going in there to help. And what happened? The black Libyans, the sub-Saharan Africans, were targeted and lynched, murdered. I'd heard tens of thousands reportedly had been murdered immediately following that invasion. They put Al-Qaeda in charge, and Al-Qaeda went out there with those bombs and the guns and the anti-aircraft missiles and all that money. There was literally money being sent there that they used, and part of that was used to exterminate tens of thousands of sub-Saharan Africans that lived in Libya. That's what this is. That's the new freedom. That's the new liberty. So when we talk about NATO helping out, I can't help but feel that little bell going off inside my head, that light bulb, and it just shines and it reminds me of their track record. So they don't have let's say a very good track record, that's for sure, and I'm very frightened at the possibility of what they can do in a proxy war. See, they can use something like an Al Qaeda here yet again. They can stir up some riots. They can provocateur that. They provocateured in Ottawa before, and outside of Ottawa actually, and they've done this before. They provocateur riots. They do that all the time. They use the black bloc. They use a whole different type of things like this. They can use any type of their agents on the inside and get things stirred up so that they have a reason to use their military. The military industrial complex has their hands on this and they are controlling it like puppets. I want to get you guys all on to the Money GPS Insiders. It is so important to be on there. If YouTube takes me down, which they've tried many times, and I'm coming up with new ways to get away from that, and you will have a way to get in touch with me should they do this. I can always give you send an email out and just say, look, this is where I am now. Please check me out on there. That's what I hope for this. And of course, you'll get excellent information over the weeks and months as time goes on. Thank you all for watching.